We're
You
gonna,
say you can't, you making a mistake.
folks, we're going to begin our study session. First off is Councilor Manto for Councilor Gathers.
It's just gonna be an inducing table Monday.
Okay.
I mean, it's already been tabled, it's ready.
Okay, so Counselor Hogan, A and B are ready,
Okay?
and C.
And C. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sorry about that, those are unfinished business, right?
And we'll see if we have any commissioner deeds for the regular meeting. Councilor Manto again.
Oh, thank you. So items number 10 and 11, those are also both all set.
Those gonna be an inducing table Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. We're looking to try and get a committee meeting sometime in the first week of November.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
10 and 11, yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Councilor Navi for Councilor Caldwell.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I have item 12. Syracuse, you want to go?
Good afternoon, Council. Chris Abbott, Deputy Commissioner, Parks Department. We have items 12 through 14. The first is a donation from Syracuse University for 7 aqua bikes to be used at the Southwest Community Center, value of approximately $7,000. Questions? All right. Item 13 is a authorized payment to various musical performances as part of our holiday hayride event at Burnett Park this December for a cost not to exceed $2,000. Any questions there? And item 14, also related to the holiday hayride event, an agreement with the stables to provide the horse-drawn wagon rides.
These are very popular seasonal events, and I commend the Parks Department for keeping them going all these years, so.
Got it. We're looking forward to it.
Chris, I'm not familiar with 14. What does the quarry have to do with it? Is it through the quarry?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just the name of the stables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Route
okay.
80 quarry stables.
Oh, okay,
They've been
okay.
providing the horses for many years.
Okay, okay.
So where's the event going to be on, it says with Route 80 Quarry Ridge Stables, so it's going to be at Burnett Park?
The events at Burnett Park, yeah, we gather at the complex there, and the ride, the
Okay,
wagon rides go through the park, through the lights. Yeah.
okay, so we have everything ready for this, so children are going to be riding, we have all proper insurances
We will, yes.
for any accidents? Okay.
Yep.
Very bright special events coordinator created about 25 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, started.
So I commend you for keeping it going.
No, we love it. Very popular event.
Thank you, Councilor Navi. Councilor Majok.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I have item 15. Anyone from the police department? Janet, you gonna do this for us?
I'm filling in for the police department.
All right. Should have wear some uniform, so.
They're very busy. Hi, Janet Berg, the Director of Research. So this is our annual State Homeland Security grant. We apply, the police department and the fire department both use the money, and the police department are asking this year to have their portion spent on a camera, trailer, and related equipment, night vision equipment, laser protective film, lighting, and personal protective equipment, and cybersecurity assessment and training.
I would just say it made me very nervous reading it.
I'm sorry?
It made me very nervous reading all of that. I was like, what do we need this
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, they need a lot of stuff. Chief, do you want to come up, or
Not
do you
the
want me
need
to
is
do
what
yours?
it's needed for.
Okay, I'll let the fire department take over.
Sure. No one from the police department?
Kind of like they do this application agreement like annual.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Councilors, I'm District Chief Patrick Foodie for the Syracuse Fire Department. We are asking for meters and radios through this grant.
Any questions? That was easy, Chief.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. And then I have item 16 with members of public safety, Cardwell, Joan Rouser, and Monto. Any questions? All right. I'm all set.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Counselor Manto for Counselor Gathers.
Thank you, Counselor Hogan. I have Counselor Gathers items 17 through 27. Hi, Mary.
Good afternoon, councilors. Mary Robison, city engineer. Items 17 and 18, I'm covering for DPW. This is their annual allocation of $3 million for sanitary storm sewer reconstruction. So we use this money to line our sewers and to replace our sewers when they need to be reconstructed. And some of this money, as a result of all the I-81 construction, there may be a need to spend some of this money on sewers that are in poor condition within those work areas. All right. Item 19 through 22 is our Midland Ave paving project between Ostrander and Seneca Turnpike. We are amending the bond ordinance, amending the agreement with New York State DOT, and amending the project authorization to add the construction and construction inspection phase for $4,065,000, bringing the total project cost not to exceed $4.666 million. This is a TIP project, 80% federal reimbursement, 15% Marchicelli, and 5% local. And this project will be bid over the winter with construction starting in the spring. No questions? Okay. Items 22 through 25 are related to the Tech Garden. The Tech Garden, the existing electric service for the Tech Garden is part of the AXA Towers electric service, which is all located in vault structures on Madison Street. So all our conduits and everything go through the garage and into this existing vault system, which National Grid has determined cannot handle any additional electric service. And the vaults are also in very poor condition, which National Grid is in the process of renovating. So all this legislation has to do with our contribution towards a new electric service in a new vault structure directly adjacent to the Tech Garden, so that we will be removing ourselves from participating with AXA Towers in those vaults on Madison Street, and we won't have to also have our conduits going through their garage that we no longer have any ownership in. So number 22 is amending ordinance 511 of 2022, which was the settlement with us and Equitable Garage Towers Realty.
Great.
Yep.
Is that the bond that, that Ted is, which one, I know there's another bond here, but I was just wondering which one of the bonds Frank might can answer is the one that Ted was struggling with, making sure that Joe can get it.
Yeah, Joe Barry, First Assistant Corporation Counsel. There was an issue that came up yesterday with our bond counsel. He just wanted to make sure we were in compliance with federal tax rules when we're spending money. In this case, it's city-owned property, but there's a private organization, obviously Census State, that's part of the building. And we had to work through with him some questions to make sure the bond, both the use of the previously bonded money, the settlement money, and the new bond that's before you today will comply with those tax rules. And we talked about it with Mike Cannizzaro, the Commissioner of Finance, and we were assured at the end of the conversation that we are in compliance. So these items can move forward, that legal issue has been resolved.
Okay, while you're up there, you might as well talk about the MOU.
Yes, the MOU is, I'd say 90.
Because it's not in the book, and just want to let you know, normally I would put it in the book, but Joe can talk about they're trying to finalize it maybe by the end of the day or tomorrow to get it to you all, so you all can see it. And yeah.
Yes, we're 90% complete with the MOU. There was just some legal language that had to be resolved relative to the design work because the design work is being done by an engineering firm on a contract with Center State. So the city has to ensure that we have certification of those plans, and we're putting in the appropriate language. I would anticipate we would have it tomorrow if you can give us one more day just to make sure everything's correct.
This is a couple of years ago. So, Joe, maybe you can just relate how we got to this point. Obviously, the vaults were originally in the garage, the exit garage,
Yes.
and then we're removing them to support our commitment to the tech garden, correct? Basically. Is that the way it works?
That's part of it, but we're also removing them because
We
we
don't
own the
own-
building that's in the tech garden, but we no longer own the garage.
So if the
So we
garage
don't
was
wanna
locked
be-
up and you wanted to get there because the lights went out, you couldn't have been able to do
Yeah,
it. So obviously
we don't
you
want
want
to
to
be
stand
subject to another property owner to get our electricity.
alone. Right.
And in addition,
That's a wise
national.
move.
What's that?
That's a wise move.
Oh, yes, that's why we're doing it.
plus
And of
National
course,
Grid,
National
yeah.
Grid has said
Right.
there, and Mary can give the technical details, that there's problems with those existing electric facilities in the garage, so
Right.
they need work to begin with.
So, and so Center State is contributing $400,000. Okay.
Correct, since they are our beneficiary.
Yeah. And this all resulted from that, we settled that lawsuit with that AXA and all that.
Yes, it all relates back to the original
2022 or?
AXA. Yeah, we transferred in December of 2022.
Okay. Go on, Counselor.
Anybody else? Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
So are you all set through item 25, or do
All
you need
set.
any more? Okay,
All set.
thank you.
We got 26 and 27.
Good afternoon, Council. Robert Brandt, Commissioner of Water. Number 26, we're looking to move money from our capital cash account to our water capital equipment replacement project. Total amount not to exceed $400,000. And 27, we're looking to purchase a WCB from 3 printing companies for emergency printing, not to exceed $22,000.
Is that for the lead issue?
Just any mailers that we may get for any kind of water quality issues or any water issues.
Are we completely up to date on notifications regarding the lead?
We are currently up to date.
Okay.
We are sending out letters probably this week to the ones that were below EPA regulations. We sent the letters out to the ones that were above. And we also made door-to-door contact with them and reached out to them personally.
Commissioner, as you know, on the north side, we've had various points where the water pressure has been very low.
That has been addressed. We replaced a few gates and mains and valves, and then one of our personnel thought it'd be a good idea to elevate the levels of water at Westcott Reservoir, and that seemed to work.
Because the problem we had like on High Street, and I was wondering if you would send out like notices to residents on the north side pertaining to low water pressure. If there's an emergency, who to call.
They,
besides myself.
I think it's on our webpage.
Okay.
And we've anyone that has called with low pressure, we've personally made personal
Okay.
contact, to check their pressure
All
and
right.
stuff like
I'm
that.
just saying that because many people don't know who to turn to sometimes.
Right. Well, we
Because
we
we're-
believe the issue has been addressed. We
Okay.
haven't got any more calls from Gilbert, and they were the ones that were having the most problems.
Right.
We believe that's all set.
And you went and back at the stadium, addressed that, but I'm also concerned because the water pressures are low, you have a chance of residue.
Right.
Going
They,
in there.
like I said, we got the pressures back up. We take pressure tests on the hydrants. They've all been elevated, and we haven't gotten any more calls.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That's good.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? Thanks. All set, Counselor.
Okay. 27, we took care of too?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm next. 28, and I have 28 through 31. 28 is ready to go. Does anybody want to say anything? Kate, you want to say anything about this? Oh, Jake, you want to say anything about this? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Jake Dishaw, Deputy Commissioner of Code Enforcement and Zoning Administration. Item number 28 is back before you with revised resolutions from both the Landmark Preservation Board and the City Planning Commission, basically just clarifying that the designation process is a standalone and independent process from a demolition application.
Finally got that notice from the Planning Commission, I know. I appreciate the Pony Express for finally giving it to us. And so this is ready, special permit. I asked Councilor Monto about this. This is in his area. Do you have anything? This is a residential facility?
Yeah, this is item number 29 is a special use permit. It's for Liberty Resources. They are taking a 4-unit apartment building and they want to make it, I believe it's an 8-bedroom residential care facility. It's a short-term respite care for those experiencing mental health crisis for adults 18 and up. So I think it's 14 to 28 days typically for those stays, but that's essentially their operation.
Okay, there, Councilor
We know
Monto?
what the neighborhood outreach has been over there in regards to it?
Well, we public noticed the special use permit, with both mailers and online within proximity. No one spoke in favor or in opposition at the Planning Commission public hearing.
Vacant now, the apartment building?
Good question. I believe it is because I believe they want to start working on it pending this approval.
Okay with
I'll
that,
let you know
Councilor?
Monday, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Jake, would it be medical care professionals on that site or no?
I think it's more like counseling.
Okay.
And those dealing with mental health kind of crisis issues. But I think the whole purpose of it is kind of get them back on their feet and back, into their normal routine and lives. Yep.
Okay, item 30 I have, this is the installation of the honorary street sign for the Branch family. Mr. Branch was one of the first large African-American businesses. Branch School taught a lot of folks how to drive over the years, so we're going to honor him. And the school was, of course, on Franklin Street.
Counselor, we're going to set a date for the ceremony. Will we have some?
Well, I think we'll, in consultation with the family. Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
31 CNS, do you have any? Commissioner OJ, it's good seeing you.
Councilor Hogan and councilors, you too. Matt OJ, Commissioner of Assessment, requesting permission to retain CNS to give them a license agreement to access our property at 1350 South Salina Street, formerly known as the S Lot, to conduct environmental testing. No cost to the city. Seems like a good arrangement that will enable us to get a little more details on a property we've owned since the early 70s and, might have some contaminated past.
Any questions? Okay,
Yeah,
Harry?
what's the time frame for the current occupants to?
Eric Ennis, come on down.
Thanks, Counselor. Good afternoon. Eric Ennis, Neighborhood and Business Development. So one of the things that we are working on is going to be the formal date in which we would look to start the actual testing work that would take place in the parking lot. And one of the things we would plan is ample notice, actually having enough time for them to be able to relocate off of the lot. We're also actively working in partnership with at least one of the vendors, but have made offers to continue to support them in the process of relocation. So the goal would be testing work would be underway and completed before the end of the year, but we'll be working with them in advance on that relocation. All right. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to go to Councilor Manto for Councilor Williams.
Thank you. Councilor Hogan, Councilor Williams has items 32 through 34.
Good afternoon, councilors. Connor Muldoon, the API. Item 32 is amendment from an existing contract with a local software provider, EDC. This is a system called AIMS that provides functionality for our DPW Code Enforcement, Parking Violations Bureau, and BAA. This will allow our vendors to create a web portal so that residents who receive a ticket, whether for a parking violation or an illegal set-out, can see the evidence that the administration has against them and be able to dispute or pay their fines online in a seamless manner. This will reduce our costs by allowing us to reduce the number of administrative law judge hearings that have clear and obvious evidence for these individuals, and will also help to increase the amount of dollars that we receive from those disputes.
So if they pay their fine, let's say, from their bank account or credit card, is there going to be a fee if they use their credit card? Like,
Likely, yes, but I can clarify that and get back to you.
that would be good, because personally, I think we should try to, if we can, start waiving some fees. Yes.
Frank Oliva, the city's chief administrative officer. I believe, and Mr. Barry can back me up on this or not, that it's a requirement that we pass along the fee that we receive from the credit card processor on to the constituent.
That's correct.
Thank you.
So unless they send it by check, personal check, right?
Right.
So if it's laundered, there will be a fee, including if they use their checking account. I don't know if they use a debit card.
Is there
Normally,
check processing fee?
No.
No check processing fee.
Okay,
just
but there
credit
will
card
be a
fees.
fee if there's a debit card used.
Normally 3%.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
I had a question in regards to electronic communication in terms of notification. I think there was a talk before to say that if a resident is cited or anybody is cited, that there should be a way to inform them, because some of our landlords are not in the city, and by the time they get it, it's too late. And there should be a way where they are notified right away that you are cited, so that that transparency is there.
Absolutely, and the system will be helpful in moving towards that objective. That very much is an operational objective that group of departments has. The challenge is having an up-to-date register of contact information per property. And so that's the data point that is required in order to say this property owner at this address has this email address. Once we do have that information, and we are able to get that on a piecemeal basis, and so property owners can opt into that system, and that the BAA employees have been able to, when we do have that information, have that functionality that you just described, Counselor.
And I think it's good to form a timeline around that, because I think one of the complaints that we hear is not that people don't understand why they are cited. It's just being able to respond to that in time to be able to fix the issue, but the communication is not there.
Right, and so if we have property owners who opt in to share their contact information with us, we absolutely can have that functionality.
Okay.
Is that a requirement of the rental registry or what? I mean, like an email address or, Jake, is that?
Anyone from MBD?
An email address if you're in rental registry, so we can contact the landlords? Okay, so it's required. So this would be another reason, like Councilman Majuk says, for them to opt in to rental registries to be notified.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So Connor, is it like a portal where if a landlord would actually go in and set up an account and they would start getting electronic communications?
So there would be like a QR code on the violation. We'd have to adjust the design of the ticket, but you could take a picture of that QR code, go online, and it would say, my address, the evidence against me for this dispute, and I could request a hearing to say that this evidence is incorrect, or I could pay the fine online.
Councilor Hogan's point, it might be worth making it a requirement of the rental registry to actually join the portal, right?
We could absolutely explore that. That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Legislation. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Connor.
all set, Councilor Monto?
Yeah, 33. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you, Counselor. Requesting council authorization to retain an appraiser to prepare an appraisal report and possibly go to trial for property tax litigation involving the property at 3023 Erie Boulevard East.
Okay, Councilor?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
Next one is a request to modify the last year's assessment roll. This touches on that board up cleanup question. Got a couple properties on Delaware that have improperly assessed board up cleanup charges.
Thanks, Counselor.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Councilor Jones-Rouser.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I have items 35 through 43. And Matt?
This one is not one of the pro forma amendments. We are requesting that we amend Ordinance 425 of 1983. The short of this is that we are looking to cure a defect in the title of this property. Gentleman who owns it is in contract to sell. This is 346 North Beach Street. Gentleman is looking to sell his property, discovered a defect in the title. It turns out that we sold his late grandmother one of our vacant lots in 1983. This transaction closed. We received our money, as was the practice back then. We handed over the deed to the purchaser, relying upon that person to record the deed with the county clerk. As was too often the case when we did that, the person just pocketed the deed, put it into a drawer. We don't know, but the deed disappeared, was never recorded. So when this gentleman is trying to sell now, he's unable. So we would like to amend the ordinance to reflect this gentleman as appropriate party in the chain of title.
So has taxes been up to date on that lot?
It is up to date. Yep.
So
this is the only thing holding up closing, to the best of my knowledge.
He is the grantee.
He is, yeah, constructively the grantee. Thanks all.
And will he be joining the lot with the house? Or
It,
is it still
it
separate?
already has been, and that's part of the
It just
trouble.
wasn't recorded, okay.
Yeah, I think this was probably administratively re-subdivided by our office rather than through the planning commission process. But yeah, they are one now.
So Matt, this property was also used by not Mussolinos, the car care center, where there's cars in that lot. We don't know if they're abandoned or if they're going to be cleaned out.
Not, I'm afraid I can't speak knowledgeable
Okay.
to that, but I can get an answer.
Well, we know what the property looks like, yeah. Sure. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Commissioner. Come on, Counselor.
Good afternoon, Councilors. Kimone Jordan, Director of Housing and Neighborhood Planning. Items 36 through 43 are requests to have these properties transferred to the Greater Syracuse Land Bank once the foreclosure process is complete. There are 3 items that we would actually like to remove. So item 38 for the property at 1405 Highland. Item 39 for the property at 125 Jacqueline Drive. And item 40 for the property at 115 Clarence Ave. So all property owners have come in and submitted a tax trust to the Finance Department.
Sorry, which one was that?
So item 38, 39, and 40.
And they did tax trust.
Yes, they've applied for a tax trust. Any questions? So, thank you, Councilors.
Thank you.
You okay, Counselor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Counselor Manto.
Thank you, Councilor Hogan. I have item number 44, and we will continue to hold that item for discussion. Thank you.
Okay, motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned. Broke my glasses. I got a pair.
Gotta be gentle.
I know, well, they had a long life.